Has there been any reduction in education support for your deaf child because of coronavirus? This might include fewer or no visits from a teacher of the deaf, no support from a teaching assistant or communication support worker, not being able to use a radio aid, or being asked to work at home using resources that aren't accessible to your child. Though these are really challenging times, one thing that hasn't changed is that schools and local authorities still need to do everything possible to make sure that your child isn't disadvantaged. There are a few key rights to be aware of. Firstly, under equality laws, schools must make what are called reasonable adjustments. Every child and every situation is different, so there's no one fixed definition of what a reasonable adjustment is. But if something is easy or straightforward to do and would help your deaf child, the school must do it. For example, if the school is doing online teaching because your child has to self-isolate, we would expect them to ensure that any online teaching is deaf-friendly and accessible so that your child can understand it. Secondly, schools or local authorities cannot have blanket policies. What this means is that schools or local authorities cannot introduce new rules that apply to everyone but which don't take into account the individual needs of your child. So if your child needs face-to-face support from a teacher of the deaf, and this can't be done through a video call, then the school should allow the teacher of the deaf to visit. They cannot have a blanket policy that says no external visitors can come to the school. Thirdly, education, health and care plans and statements remain in force. If you live in England and your child has an education, health and care plan, or if you live in Wales or Northern Ireland and your child has a statement of special educational needs, remember that these are legal documents. The school and local authority must ensure that any support required is provided. Be aware that there might be some temporary changes around plans or statements because of coronavirus, but even if this happens, schools and local authorities must still do what they can. Keep an eye on our coronavirus blogs for the latest updates. So if you have any concerns about reductions in support, we'd suggest doing the following things. Get in touch with the school to discuss what they're doing to make sure your child still gets all the support they need. If your child has one, ask the teacher of the deaf to get involved. They should be raising these issues with the school. If that doesn't work, consider making a formal complaint. Take a look at our website for some top tips in this area. The link for this information is also below. Our website also has information about your rights under equality laws. Again, you can see this below. Get in touch with our helpline if you need any further information or support.